Most folks are busy chasing the same tired SUV names, but I've been around enough lots to know the real steals are the ones hiding in plain sight. These rigs aren't flashy or overhyped. They're the quiet workhorses you'll be glad you snagged before everyone else catches on. Hey guys, this is Scott from CarlandTV, and it's time to slide into the driver's seat, 'cause today, I'm laying out the SUVs nobody's talking about, but everybody should be driving. These are some straight-up hidden gems that punch way above their weight without burning a hole in your wallet. But first, do me a quick favor. Tap that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. It ain't required, but those clicks keep this thing rolling and make it easier for me to keep dropping solid car content straight to your screen. Now, let's get back into it. Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. The Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV is one of the most slept-on SUVs in the US right now. Everyone's too busy chasing Toyotas and Hondas, and they don't realize this thing quietly delivers some of the best bang for the buck in the plug-in world. You get about 38 miles of pure electric range, which covers the average American's daily commute without burning a drop of gas. And when you do hit the road for a long haul, the gas motor kicks in and gives you over 420 miles of total range. That's peace of mind you don't get with a pure EV. Here's the kicker. This is the only plug-in SUV sold in the US that actually lets you DC fast charge. It uses a CHAdeMO port, so you can juice it up from 0 to 80% in under 40 minutes. That's huge when you're on the move and don't want to sit around for hours. The cabin? Way nicer than people give it credit for. You've got 3 rows. Though let me be clear, that back row is kid-only territory. Still, it's great for families who need flexibility. Now, for the driving feel, it's not a sports car, but the all-wheel drive system is solid, and with the twin-motor setup, you've got plenty of torque right off the line. Mitsubishi also backs it with a 10-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, which gives me confidence telling customers this thing will go the distance. Honestly, it's the kind of rig I recommend to folks who want practicality, fuel savings, and a little future-proofing without paying Tesla money. Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. Let me put it this way. The Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid is the SUV nobody takes seriously until they drive it. Folks hear Corolla and think of a cheap rental car, but this hybrid setup flips that script. It's packing Toyota's 5th-gen hybrid system, and with the all-wheel drive models, you're looking at an honest 42 miles per gallon combined. That's Prius numbers in an SUV body, and you don't even have to plug it in. Just gas up and go. Size-wise, it's perfect for city living. You've got a compact footprint that's easy to park in tight spots, but it still offers just over 21 cubic feet of cargo space behind the seats. Fold those down, and you can haul way more than you'd expect. Families appreciate the backseat legroom too, and Toyota doesn't skimp on safety here. Every Corolla Cross Hybrid comes standard with Toyota Safety Sense 3, which means adaptive cruise, lane tracing assist, and automatic emergency braking are baked in. So, is it a rocket? No. You've got 196 horsepower total, which is enough to merge confidently and get around town without stressing. The hybrid powertrain is smooth, and the EAWD system adds confidence when the weather gets ugly. Plus, you've got Toyota reliability backing the whole deal. Between the track record of their hybrid batteries and the resale value these rigs hold, I've got no problem telling buyers this one makes sense. It's not flashy, but it's that steady, no-nonsense SUV that'll quietly save you money every single day. Mazda CX-30 Turbo. Here's one that slips under just about everybody's radar, the Mazda CX-30 Turbo. Most folks come in thinking Toyota, Honda, or maybe Subaru, but when I toss them the keys to a CX-30 Turbo, they walk away grinning. Under the hood, you've got a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that makes 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque on premium fuel. Even on regular gas, it still pumps out 227 horses, which is way more grunt than most small SUVs in this price range. Mazda tuned this thing like they actually care about driving. Steering's tight, suspension's planted, and it handles curves like a smaller car. You don't get that floaty, disconnected feel you find in a lot of crossovers. Inside, it's another story people don't expect. The cabin feels premium leather seats, real stitching, clean layout, and an infotainment system that doesn't look like an afterthought. Honestly, for the money, the interior punches above its weight. Safety is another box it checks. The CX-30 has snagged the IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus multiple years, which is the highest rating you can get. That means not just solid crash scores, but also headlights and driver assist features that actually work right. Gas mileage isn't hybrid level, but it's decent for the power you're getting. You're looking at around 22 miles per gallon in the city and 30 miles per gallon on the highway, which is perfectly livable. The truth is, this rig gives you a near-luxury feel and real performance without having to spend Audi money. It's one of those SUVs I'd call a driver's car disguised as a family crossover. Kia Niro Hybrid. I'll be real with you. The Kia Niro Hybrid is one of those crossovers people scroll right past when shopping online. And that's a mistake. On paper, it doesn't scream excitement, but in day-to-day life, it just flat out works. This little rig delivers up to 53 miles per gallon combined, which means you're basically getting Prius-level fuel economy but with SUV practicality. You don't plug it in, no learning curve. Just drive it like normal and enjoy those crazy low gas bills. Now, here's where it surprises people. Space. The back seat is roomy enough for adults, and you've got about 22.8 cubic feet of cargo space behind the seats. Drop them flat, and you're looking at over 63 cubic feet. That's more than enough for a couple of bikes, camping gear, or your kid's soccer hall. The Niro isn't pretending to be an off-roader, but for city driving and light road trips, it's hard to beat. Performance-wise, you're getting 139 horsepower from a 1.6-liter four-cylinder mated to an electric motor. Doesn't sound like much, but the electric torque off the line makes it feel peppier than the numbers suggest. It uses a 6-speed dual-clutch automatic instead of a CVT, so it drives more like a normal car. Warranty is another reason I don't hesitate to recommend it. Kia covers you with that 10-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and that's peace of mind if you plan on keeping it long-term. Bottom line, this thing isn't flashy, but if you want a commuter that saves you thousands and still feels like a proper car, the Niro Hybrid is one of the smartest buys out there. Chevrolet Trailblazer. You know what surprises me about the Trailblazer? It's one of those crossovers that looks small on the lot, but the second you open it up and fold those seats down, you're staring at over 54 cubic feet of space. That's groceries, sports gear, even a couple of weekend bags with room left for the dog. It's a clever package, and Chevy nailed the bigger inside than outside trick. I usually steer folks toward the 1.3 turbo. It's not a monster, but 155 horsepower and 174 pound-feet of torque feel lively enough around town. Pair that with the 9-speed automatic on the all-wheel drive models, and you've got a setup that feels way less strained than the smaller 1.2. Gas mileage is another win, hitting the low 30 seconds on the highway if you're easy on the pedal. The cabin is straightforward, nothing fancy, but everything you need is there. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, which means no fumbling with cables. Visibility's good, seats sit you up high, and even the base trims get Chevy Safety Assist, which should include automatic braking, lane keep assist, and forward collision alert. Those aren't gimmicks. They actually make a difference when you're stuck in traffic every day. So while most folks brush it off as just another small Chevy, the Trailblazer pulls more weight than you'd think. It's not trying to be luxurious or sporty, but it checks the right boxes for real-world use. I've had plenty of customers drive one thinking it's temporary, only to hang on to it longer than planned because it just fits their life. Buick Envista. The Envista caught me off guard the first time I walked around one. Buick ditched the boxy SUV shape here and went with more of a sleek, coupe-like roofline. At first glance, you think, there's no way this thing is practical. But slide into the back and you'll realize it's actually got decent room. Cargo space clocks in at 20.7 cubic feet with the seats up, and it opens to 42 cubes once you fold them flat. Not massive, but plenty for a week's worth of groceries or a road trip bag setup. Every trim gets the same 1.2-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder, making 136 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque. Sounds tiny, but with the 6-speed automatic, it moves just fine for daily driving. EPA numbers are right at 28 miles per gallon in the city and 32 miles per gallon on the highway, so you're not bleeding at the pump. It's front-wheel drive only, so don't expect off-road chops. But for commuting and highway cruising, it's smooth and easy. What Buick did well here is the interior. Even on the cheaper preferred trim, you've got a big 11-inch center screen, an 8-inch digital cluster, and wireless CarPlay and Android Auto standard. Step up to the Avenir, and it feels almost near luxury, with stitched seats and nicer trim. Point is, this isn't an SUV for someone trying to flex. It's for somebody who wants sharp looks, modern tech, and a comfortable ride without paying BMW money. I've seen plenty of people dismiss Buick altogether, but the Envista is proof that they still know how to put together a solid daily driver that flies under the radar. Subaru Crosstrek. The Crosstrek is one of those SUVs that doesn't shout for attention, but man, it just makes sense. Standard all-wheel drive, no nickel and diming you for it, and almost 9 inches of ground clearance on the regular trims. The Wilderness trim pushes that even higher and gives you skid plates, beefier suspension, and a tow rating up to 3,500 pounds. That's legit capability in a small footprint. Now, here's what I tell folks in the showroom. Skip the 2 if you can and grab the 2.5. It's still a 4-cylinder, but you get 182 horsepower instead of 152, and that difference is noticeable when you're merging or hauling a load. Mileage is respectable too, about 26 miles per gallon in the city and 33 miles per gallon on the highway on the 2.5, and a touch higher if you stick with the base engine. Not hybrid numbers, but fair for a rig with all-wheel drive standard. Inside, it's straightforward and easy to live with. About 20 cubic feet of cargo behind the rear seats, nearly 55 when you fold them down. Plenty for gear, groceries, or a weekend trip. Subaru throws in eyesight safety tech on every trim, so you've got adaptive cruise and lane assist working even on the lower models. I've seen people buy Crosstreks thinking they'll just use them as commuters. Then a year later, they're camping, towing, and hitting trails they never thought they would. It's not flashy, but it's dependable and way more versatile than it looks sitting on the lot. Lincoln Corsair Grand Touring. I get a lot of folks who walk right past the Corsair, and that's a mistake, especially the Grand Touring plug-in hybrid. On paper, it doesn't sound like much, but this thing blends luxury comfort with real-world efficiency. You've got a 2.5-liter Atkinson Cycle 4 matched to an electric motor and a rear-mounted motor for all-wheel drive. Total system output? About 266 horsepower. It's not a rocket, but it's smooth, quiet, and handles day-to-day driving without breaking a sweat. The real draw is the electric range. You're looking at 27 miles of EV-only driving, which covers a lot of daily commutes or errands without firing the gas engine. Once the battery's out, it transitions seamlessly into hybrid mode. EPA rates it at 78 miles per gallon equivalent when you're mixing in that plug-in range, and around 33 miles per gallon combined when you're running it strictly on gas. That's solid for a luxury SUV with all-wheel drive. Inside, this is where Lincoln pulls ahead of the usual suspects. It's properly quiet thanks to active noise control, and the seats are what I'd call road trip worthy. Cargo space is usable too. It's around 26 cubic feet behind the seats, and about 57 with them folded. Tech is handled by Lincoln's Sync 4 system on a crisp 13.2-inch screen, with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto standard. Safety's covered with adaptive cruise, lane centering, and automatic emergency braking, all included. What I like about the Corsair Grand Touring is that it doesn't make you choose between luxury and practicality. You can run errands in EV mode all week, then hit the interstate on gas for a road trip without thinking twice. For folks wanting a quiet, comfortable SUV that saves money at the pump, this one's way more capable than people realize.